Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a little while since I've done an update, but we've made lots of really good progress. We've just kind of been in work mode, trying to get as much done as fast as we can, because as you can see, winter is here. We are dealing with a bunch of snow at the moment, but thankfully the roof is all taped up. We're good there. We also finished the patio roof, as you can see behind me. So that is up. It's not taped yet. We got to wait for the snow to melt off, and then we can tape that up. And hopefully here soon, we'll be able to get up on the big roof and measure out to make sure we have all the dimensions for ordering our metal roof, and we can get that installed as well. So I'll go ahead and go inside and show you guys all the progress that we've made. We are ready for our rough carpentry inspection tomorrow. So the inspector is going to be coming by to check and make sure that all of our framing is correct, all of our structural members, nails, sheathing, all of that stuff is correct. And then once we have that inspection approval, we can move on to taping the wall sheathing, installing the windows and doors, and really get this all dried in. A little late for winter, but at least all of the moisture, pretty much all of it, is out. So one of the things that we did in preparation for this inspection is we really cleaned up the place inside. So we swept everything, vacuumed, got all of the extra stuff picked up for the most part. There's still a couple rooms that we're finishing up on that today. And we got things like the stairway built and the closet that goes underneath that. So we've made lots of really good progress. And so I'm excited to show you guys. So as you can see here, this is that patio roof installed, keeping the snow up there. So it helps with these big doorways here. We've got one of them covered just to keep any weather out from wind. But as you can see, it's kept things pretty clean in here. Okay. So, not much has changed in this area, except we have gotten things cleaned up. So, we got a toolbox out, gotten a lot of our tools cleaned up. So the floor in here is much better. We've got all of our blocking done in our exterior walls. And as you can see here, as we come around, this is our stairway and the closet underneath. So one of the things that we had to do here, we wrapped that. If you recall, there was two columns in here. So we got that wrapped so that's nice and hidden. So we'll have a clean finish when that's all done, all the way up to the ceiling at the second floor. So that is cleaned up. And this is that closet under the stairway for some extra storage. Here at the bottom of the stairs. The stairs were a bit of a challenge because we had a very tight space to work with, and we had a lot of height to cover because we do have tall ceilings, so getting to the second floor was going to take a lot of space. So we have at the bottom here 2 steps, 3 risers, two treads, and this bottom one we're actually going to wrap back around, and so it's going to be a wrapped stair at the bottom. And then We have our landing here. So we had to make sure for code that we had a 36-inch stairway. And so that's part of what takes up the space, is we had to fit a landing in order to get all of the steps that we needed. So as you can see, there's a gap right here between the landing and the wall. So that same gap goes up along that side of the far side of the stairs as well. And that is so we can bring the drywall down and install a trim piece that runs up along the edge of the stairs without having to cut every step out of the drywall. It'll just make for a cleaner, easier install in that way. So right now we've just got temporary treads on there, and before we do carpet, we'll put on the actual treads and risers before installing carpet on these stairs. And then eventually we'll have railing as well. So now we can easily walk up and down our brand new stairway, which is really exciting. So you can see, what that's going to be like from up here. You can see down, big double height entry, and we'll have a nice big chandelier in this big open space here in front of this window. So that'll look really nice, which will be exciting. But as you can see, it is very clean in here. We've still got a couple pieces of wood, but we've installed our blocking in our exterior walls to keep those studs straight. We have fire blocking on all the seams for the exterior walls. So that's these flat pieces here. So these pieces are covering seams where the exterior sheathing is meeting the panels. And then this is just blocking halfway up the wall, and that helps give rigidity as well as work as fire blocking, fire stopping, and it also helps with the drywall. It gives it another thing to nail to and keeps the studs straight throughout in the interior walls, especially, so that it's easier to install our drywall. So as you can see, storm brought in a little bit of snow in there, so we'll have to sweep that up just so that we can get the moisture back outside. But only a little bit this time, not too much wind going on, so that's good. But still some cleanup there. And up here, this is the only room we still have to clean up. Still a bit messy because we've been cutting all the blocking and such. We do have to build a platform for our furnace in the attic, but we're going to do that after the inspection. That's not required for this point. So that's going to be up there, kind of spanning above the hallway. We're going to put in a access panel door in the laundry room there on the left. And then that'll access the furnace upstairs in the attic. And then there's a furnace going into the base, crawl space as well. So we've made a lot of great progress. Still a few things to do, but we are getting closer and closer to being all dried in. So with this stairway, one of the big challenges that we had to do, so we had to make sure that the 2x12 stringers, those are the diagonal pieces underneath that hold each of the treads. We had to make sure that we cut those right, because those are, $50, $60 pieces of studs. And so we had to have 3 of those. So we did a lot of measuring and drawing out on the wood just to make sure that those were going to fit correctly and we were going to get all of our measurements. And then once we had, because our risers for residential stair, according to the code, can't be more than 7 3/4 inches high. Ours, we couldn't get away with one less tread unless we were going to go over that. So we had to be under it. So that's why we have, I believe it's 18 treads, 18, 16, something like that. And So our risers are 7.5-inch risers is how we made it all work. So we had to cut those in each of the stringers. There's a stringer on each end, and then a stringer up the middle as well. And then the platform had to have some structural members underneath it with some 4x4 posts to hold that up as well, to hold up the stringer and to hold up the landing. And then we just brought it down and did a short little 2 stairs with the three stringers, and we'll wrap that bottom one like I was talking about as well. So definitely a lot of thought and care went into how to build the stair, but they actually went up really quickly once we were sure that we were building them correctly. So that was great that we were able to get those installed. And one of the other things that I was working on yesterday to prepare for the next step where we start installing our electrical and plumbing after the windows is I marked out locations for light switches, exhaust fan switches, ceiling fan switches, and outlets. So I went throughout the whole house and I made some marks. So for example, this right here is the symbol for a receptacle outlet. There's going to be 2 receptacles on this outlet, and it's going to be installed to the right of this stud. Throughout most of the house, we have to have a receptacle. Basically, at any point along the wall, a receptacle needs to be within 6 feet. So what that means is when you're going from a doorway like here, the receptacle needs to be within 6 feet of that doorway. So, and the next one has to be within 12 feet of the other one, so that if you were halfway between them, you're no more than 6 feet away from each one. So that's what I did all throughout the house. I marked out locations, thought about where is the bed going to be in the room, and where are we going to want receptacles around the bed, within reach of certain things, where is a TV going to be located, things like that. So had to think about, where do we want a light switch for bedrooms, hallways, all over the place. So that was what I went around and did all throughout the house. So now we can count those up and get the right number of boxes, switches, all that we need. Like in here, I've got a switch for the vanity light and a little mini chandelier over the tub. But when you first walk in the bathroom, we have one here so that you can turn on the light and the exhaust fan. So that was what I did all yesterday. So now we're going to work on finishing our cleaning up and getting ready for tomorrow's inspection. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for our next video, and stay up to date with the progress on our DIY custom home. Thanks for coming. We're so glad to have you guys watching our videos, and we are so excited to share with you the progress of our project.